Hey, everybody, and welcome back. This is Aristotle, and this is episode 2 of Philosophy SMP. And today is Farm Day. That's right. We're going to be building some farms, some nice early game farms, and let's get to it. Okay, so I popped a few things up on the wall here. As you can see, I'm getting organized for this season, and I've got my wish list up. And but the first 4 farms that we were going to start was a miner trading hall. We need to get a few enchanted tools, something to really build up those resources quick, and that's going to be a miner trading hall. Is going to be the fastest way to do that. I was going to do a mob farm, and I normally would, but I have plans to hide the mob farm inside of the city that we're going to be building this season. So I started off with a skeleton farm because I was looking for something that was going to give me a little bit of resources. In this case, bone meal, bone blocks, things of that nature that'll get us started. So we got a skeleton farm going. Iron farm for sure. We need iron. And then we'll get a villager breeder going. So by the end of this episode, we're going to have all 4 of these things up and running. Phase 2, this is when we get real serious. Now, I love me a good bamboo farm because this is going to create basically infinite wood. And we'll mix that with a sugarcane farm because sugarcane is always useful. Then we'll properly hide. Once we get all the right tools, the right armor, we're going to hide this mob farm in a way that you've never seen before. And then our final and permanent major trading hall. So this little area is like a starter area. So I've got a wall that's going to cut right through where the house is. That's going to surround our whole city. So this isn't even where our city's going to be. This is going to be like some weird corner of it. So anything we build here, we're going to eventually tear down. So the whole idea is to just get started with just what we need to be able to start building that city. And step 1, skeleton farm. So while I was doing some caving and exploring, I found a skeleton spawner deep under. And once I located that, I dug a staircase so I could get directly down to it. It is very, very near the bottom. I forget what Y level, but it's like negative 40 something. So we are way down here. And as you can see, there's caves galore left and right. Let's get to work. And there she is. I did the standard 9x9x9 room around the spawner. Popped a slab right on the top. And I know you want to get me. Did water along the back row for 8 blocks, and then it drops out straight down. I don't want to fall in there. I'll end up dying. And then the water goes left and right, and it pushes them into a single stream. I didn't have any ice because I didn't have silk touch. So what that does is that single stream, they all kind of bunch up, and it pushes them here into a bubble tube that takes them straight up, and then they drop 23.5 blocks. 24 blocks would be right on top of that hopper, and that makes it so they are, boom, I can kill them with just one punch. I don't even have to do anything with my sword if I don't want to. Of course, it's a lot quicker. I need that experience. I can just chop them up. If they do have armor, they're a little tougher to kill. I should probably put that back there. Anyways, and then if I sit here and run it for a while, this is what we get. Oh, that was from a zombie who showed up at some point. So, long story short, this is what we get, and stacks and stacks of bones and arrows. I haven't found a better spawner farm for this, and this isn't my design, but I'll throw a link of one of my favorite YouTubers who does demonstrate a tutorial on how to build this in the description below. Now, let's get over to my farms. So I cleared out a spot for our miner trading hall right here, And just around the corner over here is where we are going to pop, right behind the nether portal there. We're going to pop our iron farm right there. So I do like to set that up over the water if I can. And then right on over here, we're going to pop our villager breeder. So let's go get our supplies, because we are super organized this season, and get to work. So this farm I did a full tutorial on, and it hasn't changed much at all. The mechanics for villager breeding really haven't changed since 1.14, and so it's frankly it's a good little farm. So I'll put a card in the corner and link in the description below if you want to follow along. I'm not bothering to decorate it too much. This farm can actually really good if you do it out of stone and really just kind of like take the time to blend and kind of, do all that nice painty stuff with this, because this whole thing's going to be torn down anyways. But the whole process or way that this farm works, well, it's actually kind of cool. So we create a farm way up in the air here. And then we have a little area where, as kids, they go running across from this side over to the other side, trying to get on a bed, and they fall down and land here and wind up in our waiting area. So it's pretty easy. So let me get to work. Now that we're up in the sky, we can create a base for our farm, and I tend to like to do this with kind of a slab bottom. So we'll work it out this way. As you're placing the dirt, you just leave a little hole in the middle, and then you're going to want to leave a little spot for beds right on each side of that hole. So I'm going to make a little 1x2 little box right there, and then do the same on the other side. All right, easiest thing to do at this point, pop a slab in the bottom of the hole. This is just for ease. Drop some water right in there, and then go on back over here and, frankly, just make yourself a composter. Pop it right on top of that water. Then give yourself, you can use, if you have any leftover slabs, right on top like this. And this will be light for your villagers that are up here. And then I like to drop the first 2 beds in right away. Now this little farm can take you a little while to get going, and you're just planting new crops. I really like to do potatoes or carrots up here, preferably carrots. You can do the wheat, but sometimes the seeds will mess you up when it comes to the breeding and the villagers' inventories. So if I just take and get this whole little spot here tilled, nothing will spawn on it. Now the beds are set into the dirt, basically so that the villagers can sleep in them, because we're only going to make this area too tall, and they don't trample the crops getting in and out of their beds, which can happen, especially if they can get on top of the composter. So there we go. And that's one thing you do not want up here, is a spawnable block. Now, before you plant the whole thing, you're going to want to use a temporary block in one space, just enough to get a fence rail started that's going to go around this top. And then you can till that out and plant it off. Like I said, I go through all of the details in the old video I've got, which you'll have a link coming up shortly. And of course that fence extends all the way around. You don't want the little babies jumping off. And then if you can time it right, stick slab right on top of one of them. Don't forget to fix your mistakes. It's always good to bring extra carrots. And then you can connect these up all the way across and make a roof. See, if your villagers up here get struck by lightning, they'll turn into witches. that's not always fun. And never, ever forget your trapdoors right there. That'll stop the grown-up villagers from getting to the other side. I hold off on placing the beds up there, though, until I get my first 2 initial breeding pairs up here. And that's the whole build in a nutshell. Right now, let's go get our villagers. And there they are. Let's see if I got any left over. There we go. You don't even have any crops. And you think you're a farmer. There we go. No complaints back there, man. I'm your new king. You're going to be my farmer. Oh, you look grumpy. Okay. That's 2 villagers right next to here. Now, how do we get them up there? Well, let's sleep real quick, and I will show you how. So the extra dirt left over from the farm is actually excellent for this. You just want to build yourself a nice little staircase up here. And then what you want to do is take a second before dark and go around and break any kind of profession things. So like if you've got a composter over here, I'm going to take that one out, and I'm going to take out my bed. Send out a little reminder to your friends. Make certain you have your fence posts ready. All right, we're close enough. What I'm going to do is just drop these guys out just like this and give them a second. I might lose a boat out of it. But you notice they're both headed straight on and up and into the farm. And that's perfect. They got into their beds, which means I get to pop these beds into existence real quick. Boom, and don't forget these torches over here. We don't want anything spawning on that end. All right, so those crops are coming in nice. The farmer's picking them. But if you get a little impatient like me, you can always come up and try. Hello. There we go. Try and throw a few carrots over that direction. All right, and first baby up, just throw your boat down right there by the corner and just kind of give a little nudge. And that water will push them right on in. There, just like that. Jump in. Wheel your first villager over. Works with adults too. You don't have to wait. And then just park him right here by your door. Let him get used to that bed, and you should see those green particles, and he'll want to claim at least one of those beds. 2 down, 1 to go, and a zombie, of course. All right, here we go. Okay, last little villager guy. Just going to push this guy in the corner. You notice I made this little platform a little bigger for the moment. And there we go. He's in. Now, one of the things I can do is wait for nighttime and for these guys to get in. Another thing I can do is just kind of build a way for them not to get out of this little farm area here. So I can kind of go like that. Now, since they're all kids, I should be able to just break these right here, and these guys at some point should say, hey, I want to get on that bed. And they're all 3 on the inside right now, so it's all good. And now you say, okay, Dr. Aristotle, you got yourself 3 villagers in there. How are you going to get your zombie in there? Well, it's actually pretty easy, and the answer is dirt. Basically, all I'm going to do is build this out here for a nice little dirt pathway from the land. Boom, right across there. I'm going to slap a couple pieces there and a piece there. And make myself a little trapdoor. I'm going to pop it right there. I'm going to pop it open. And then I'm going to give myself a little running path off. Now, the idea with this guy is you don't want the zombie to be able to pathfind around that hole. You basically just want it where that's it. So now I have them lined up. I'm going to wait for dark, lure one off of land, probably grab one over there, have him just follow me right across, and then what he's going to do is I'm going to run across this, jumping over the open door here, And he's going to think he can walk right across that. He's going to try it, and then he's going to drop right on down into the slot. Okay, 1 hour is up. Let's see what we got. Villagers, check. And our iron problems are solved. So 4.5 stacks. Not bad, not bad. All right, so I've been debating with myself the minimum number of villagers that we need for this minor trading hall. And so I know we need 6 librarians because we need mending and unbreaking. We need efficiency 5 and protection 4, fortune 3, and silk touch. And that should cover the basic armor and tools. Now on the other side, we need 6 more villagers. So we're going to want 2 armor smiths, 2 toolsmiths, 1 weaponsmith, because they'll always give you a sword, and 1 farmer for food. All right, so we give a little space in between. I'm going to use some oak, cobble, and birch for this build. All right, so all the fences make it fun to walk on the top because you're like, ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. You know, but otherwise than that, I'm just providing a little extra protection. Now, the beautiful thing about this villager breeder is the way you can actually auto-load villagers for your farms. If you put enough powered rails in between, you can send mine carts straight from this side, and it'll go over to the breeder and automatically pick up a villager and then shoot it right on back. Now the trick is 10 regular rails and then 2 powered rails, and that seems to work just fine unless you're going, you know, up a hill. Pop down another mine cart here, and you kind of got to do it a little close, but I can send that off, and just a couple seconds it'll come back with a villager, just like that. There we go. And then it's a matter of just wash, rinse, and repeat. So even if you're working like 60 blocks away from your villager breeder, you can still just dial it up, and then if you're placing those powered rails right, you just drop the cart, send it off, and then keep working. And then I'm going to take out these rails because we don't need any more, and we'll get that trading set up. All right, so I'm going to start trading away, and I will update you when we're finished. Hey, 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 check me out. Okay, so it took me longer to roll all of the villagers, and Boston, my friend Boston, came on over and helped me out. And it took me longer to roll the villagers than it did to actually build all these farms, but we're done, and I'm totally outfitted, all enchanted, all good to go. I got my diamond tools, I got my diamond armor, I built a little enchanting spot right here, and that iron farm has been pumping out 5 stacks of iron every hour. So while I was sitting there just rolling through the trades, it just got so much better. So this is me, Aristotle, saying thank you for watching another video, and I hope you enjoyed the farms. All the links are down below in the description, and you guys stay awesome. I love you all. Bye!